Welcome back to the React Room. Your boy Dom K back in here solo dolo again today. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. My favorite girl group in the world time, XG. We're trying to figure out who they are. Who is this XG? Is that XG? How are they formed? I've seen a few documentaries. I saw like the trials, but I always want to know like XG, for them to be so talented, they don't have like a lot of stuff like the other groups have, like a bunch of fan pages doing like documentaries and showing the ins and outs. And I get it because they have that channel on their channel where they show like the come up and how they were training and all of that. But to the new fan, they might not know who is Jurin. What does she do? Who is Maya? What does she do? What about Hinata? What about Cocona? What about Harvey? You know what I'm saying? They might not know the three vocalists. They might not know the four individual rappers. So with that being said, I came across this video where this guy was explaining what each one of them does. And that's what I want to see. I want to see like, do you know what each one does? Because even me, I just know what I see through the music. You know, I just know that they're all multi-talented. They all do a bunch of different things, but I want to see who's the real XG. This is XG. This is what they do. This is what each person does. This is what they specialize in. This is what they want to do. This are their interests. This is their background. This is their past. That's what I want to see. I'm a huge XG fan. Also, if you like XG content, thank you guys so much. We got the video from, I showed my boy XG Paul 2 months ago. It just crossed 50K. Thank you guys so much. Couldn't have did without you. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to put it in the description with the 2 videos I showed him. I showed him 6 videos and 5 videos one time. I showed him 11 videos within 2 videos just so he can get introduced to XG. They're one of his favorite groups now. I'm going to put both of those reactions in the comments. I mean, not the comments. I put them in the description. I'll put them in the comments too. But you guys can check those out if you want and see them. And again, thank you for the support. And I just did a video, Jurin featuring Rhapsody, PS118. I did that review 2 days ago. So I'm going to put all of those videos in the link, and I'll put them all in the comments too as well so you can see them. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into this video. I think it's by the Internet Nathan. I think that's his name, Internet Nathan channel. I'll tag him in the description below and to tag the video as well. But yeah, let's get it. Okay, here we go. XG Explained.
XG, also known as Extraordinary Girls, but mainly just XG, is a girl group formed by the sub-label XGALX out of Japan, which is already quite a unique idea. K-pop started in Korea, of course, and then expanded into Japan first, and then the rest of Asia, and then globally. And now XG is putting Japan on the map by breaking into K-pop. You know, kind of like the other way around. Now, let's check out some of the group's info first. XG is a 7-member girl group formed out of Tokyo, Japan, who debuted...
See, that's one thing within itself that's pretty amazing. They're not saying that XG is the first girl group to be formed in Japan, or they're the first girl group to try to do what they're doing. To me, I take that as they're the first girl group that I personally seen, one, that mostly all of their music is in English. Really, I think all of their music is in English. All of their music's in English. Number 2, I've never seen them break into K-pop like they're doing now. I've never seen a Japanese group do that. I've seen like sometimes where like you form these groups and you have like one Chinese member, or you have like a Japanese member, or you have a Thailand member, you have a member of another Asian group, and they form with other Koreans and other Asian artists, and they become a K-pop idol group. But I've never seen, if I'm not mistaken, all 7 of these girls are Japanese. So with that being said, because I think that all of this was formed in Japan, I've never seen a group formed in Japan go out and just hit the American market and didn't hit the Korean market. The 2 biggest markets are Japan and America, and then I think Korea is third. But the K-pop industry is different, and they get love in America and K-pop. They really get love all over the world, but I've personally never seen a style like this to where they're rapping in English, singing in English, and like I said, they're getting K-pop love. I personally never seen it. This is crazy, but again, it just shows you the genius of Simon and what his vision was and what he had going on. Because again, you might think this is normal, but this is not normal. I've never seen anything like this before. It's an experiment that's really, really doing well. And like I said, man, I'm just curious to know what's coming next.
In 2022 with the track Tippy Toe.
That's the way it goes, gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
And they were actually in the works for quite a long time. The process of finding and debuting XG started all the way back in 2017. From thousands of potential trainees that auditioned, these 7 joined the pre-debut project group XGALX and trained for around 5 years, and then became who we know today as XG. XG started to turn heads even before they put out any music because of mainly 3 reasons. 1, people noticed in pre-debut clips of XG that they were practicing at YG's studio, leading many to believe that this is an upcoming girl group project YG Entertainment was working on. And 2,
see, number 1, when you got this many people training, of course they thought that they was gonna be a part of YG. YG's one of the big 3, like with YG, what? YG, SM, because I call it a big 4 now, but the original big 3 was, who was the third group? YG, SM, and it'll come to me later, but I know Hype's up there now, but it was Hype, SGM, SM, YG, and it's another one too, but like they're one of the 3 big Korea record labels, and again, you're not gonna have people training in your building if they're not gonna be a part of what you're doing. And that's what was a little strange, I think, to most people. Most people was kind of like, okay.
you could catch Kepler's Hikaru in this pre-debut footage of XG before she participated in Girls Planet 999 and then later debuted in Kepler. The producers of XG have said that they do plan to have Hikaru involved in XGALX, and that could possibly include her possibly joining XG. But listen, you didn't hear that from me. And finally, the third reason is many of XG's pre-debut dance practices were filmed at YG's Entertainment Studio, like I mentioned, but they are not tied to YG aside from receiving K-pop training at YG and YG's affiliated choreographers. Now let's be real, since XG debuted, they literally stood out from other groups, going viral on TikTok with Gal Cypher showcasing a rap line like this.
C to the OCO and they be popping on the 808s. Who would have downloaded and would turn up on it like a fadeaway? Yo, tiptoeing all around the globe, leaving tracks to the Tokyo. Only spit facts while this cap and cap is acting to Pinocchio. Nah, X marks the spot, but the girls gon' Judy ma. 최대한 바람의 눈치, Michelin star 던져 Jurin sushi. Ooh.
The group also put on.
When they put out that clip, well, not that clip, when they put out that cipher was the, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first time I heard like their rap. You see, when I first, like, this is the thing. The first song I ever heard was, I want to say it was Woke Up and Howlin'. Was it Woke Up and Howlin'? I think it was Woke Up and Howlin'. You had to go back to my first video, but I think it was Woke Up and Howlin'. And I was like, yo, this is outstanding. And then people were like, yo, these are the first 2 songs you hear. So when I was discovering this, I came to realize, bro, how are these girls rapping this good? And I didn't know who was who. But now, like I said, as I'm watching what he is explaining, he's basically saying that, again, it's just all Simon connections, because I was always wondering, like, what were they doing at YG Studios? But that's something I never really dove into. I just always was wondering, like, why were they there? Did they get training there? Was this all like a show, like, to make money? And they was like, nah, like, I guess he got connections at YG and they was getting training. Okay, they were getting training from them. See, that's something even me as a fan, I didn't know, because I never understood why they were there. I was like, you could go anywhere and rent. Why rent at YG? Because I think that was strategic. He got a relationship with those people up there, and that's why they were up there getting that level of training.
Performances like this.
Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
Had style like this. XG is a girl group that drifts talent that people in Korea and definitely international are loving. From Tippy Toes to Mascara to Shooting Star to Left Right to Girl Gang to DJIF to New Dance and now Puppet Show. Whew. That's a lot in only just over a year. We are all excited to see what's coming up next for XG, so now let's learn more about the members. Jurin was born in 2002 in Chigasaki, Kanagawa Prefecture in Japan, which definitely explains her first passion in life. Chigasaki City is known as the birthplace of Japanese surfing, which Jurin's parents are from and they themselves are frequent surfers. But Jurin enjoyed snowboarding more. From the age of 3, Jurin was on the slopes and actually had a talent for it. So much so that she became a semi-professional snowboarder and placed 3rd twice in an All Japan snowboarding competition.
Yo. So, Jurin's a surfer and a snowboarder? What? I would have never guessed it. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You always learn stuff you didn't know. Jurin was a snowboarder? Wow. Chigasaki. Man, I love Japan, but that's crazy. Jurin, the leader of XG, was a snowboarder. First off, it's difficult as hell to snowboard. Let me start there. Very difficult to snowboard, but that's crazy. Man, you just think you know about these groups and these people. And like I said, until they make videos like this is why I wanted to react to this video, because there's a ton of information that you don't know. But what's crazy is I never knew she was a snowboarder. That actually blew my mind.
And ranked 10th in the whole country during the 2012-2013 season. While Jurin was an accomplished snowboarder at such a young age, she had a dream for as long as she can remember, and that was being a model. So at 15, Jurin did in fact become a model in Japan for multiple fashion brands and magazines. Eventually, that led her to picking up an interest in dance, where Jurin joined a dance group under XGALX, and that's where she met her future XG member, Harvey. And as a trainee, Jurin stood out from others in the agency and was selected from thousands of potential members for an upcoming special project girl group we know now as XG, where Jurin debuted as the leader, lead rapper, main dancer, and vocalist of XG.
That's crazy. I knew it. Now I can believe that. She was a model. You see, this is okay. So she's a snowboarder. And then she became a model. Then she became a dancer. And then the company was like, oh, she modeled? She danced? Okay. She can rap? I could tell Simon was, okay. But that makes sense why she's the lead. That's why her poses, like even now, if you look at her pose now, that's why her poses always stick. She got model experience. She knows how to work that camera. She knows. I should have known.
Chisa was born in 2002 in Osaka, Japan. And in an interview, Chisa said, "I've loved listening to music and singing since I was a little girl. So I know that music was the only way for me to live my life. I've always followed many artists who inspired me and given me hope. So I can hopefully spread."
Now, Chisa. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know Osaka, where she from. My 3 favorite cities in Japan: Tokyo, Osaka, Okinawa. Ladies and gentlemen, Osaka is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Got all of the American food you're going to need, all the international food you're going to need, beautiful city, beautiful skyline. I want to say they got a Six Flags. Is it Six Flags or is it Disneyland? They got Six Flags or Disneyland out there. It's just crazy. Osaka is crazy. One of the best places in the world. Okay. So I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Passion to others. I think that power of music is amazing, and that's when my love for music started to grow. But before music, Chisa's introduction into entertainment was through modeling and acting in 2016, where 3 Japanese companies collaborated to hold auditions to find future talent in singing, dance, and modeling. One of those companies would be the one creating XG. But Chisa didn't join that company at first. She actually joined another label, but then it was probably Chisa's amazing vocal that led her to join XGALX, and luckily everything worked out in the end, as Chisa debuted as the sub-leader and main vocalist of XG. I mean, side note, when you listen to XG for the first time, Chisa's voice might have made you say, wow, out loud like I did.
Yeah, that's crazy. So they snatching models. They snatch him out. See, this is why Japan is ahead of the game. This is why Simon's ahead of the game. You see those dummies in the States, in America, what they're going to do is they're going to snatch these girls, and then they're going to try to teach them to sing. What they doing is they're like, nah, we just going to find the models who can sing. Because this is the thing. For you people out there that don't understand, looks play a big part in music. If I'm a dude, I would rather look at a pretty face who can really sing. Not saying that I won't look at someone who's not pretty, who I don't think is attractive and wants to sing. I'm just saying it's more than likely. If I got a choice, because everybody wants to be a singer. It's just like being a professional athlete. Everybody wants to do it. It's millions of people. So if I got 1,000 artists on YouTube I can listen to, and I'm not attracted to 900 of them, but then I see 5 artists that look good, and I'm attracted to them, and they can sing, I think I'm going to look at the ones that it's just common sense. So, wow, but I would have never guessed that she was a model too. I thought that bodies, because again, Japan, they look for talent at 14, 15, 16, 17. My stupid self, I was thinking that all of these girls were just like wanted to be musicians their whole life, and that's all they wanted to do. So when they had these trials, they just went and they just did it. I didn't know these girls did this stuff outside of their like modeling and snowboard. That's crazy. Wow.
Oh my god!
Hinata was born in 2002 in Nagoya, Aichi Prefecture in Japan. However, she is actually part Korean. Hinata's grandparents are Korean, making her a third-generation Korean Japanese. That also means Hinata is fluent in Korean and Japanese, and even English too. Now, there really isn't any information on how Hinata got into music or why she decided to pursue it, but as a trainee in XGALX, her strength was her dancing ability. While training in Korea, people caught Hinata going in and out of YG Entertainment's building, making rumors that Hinata was a YG trainee.
Crazy. She from Nagoya. Now, hey, that's another little prefecture that I like in Japan, Nagoya. Look, I'm extensive in Japan now, but that's crazy. Half Japanese, half Korean. That's very useful because she can speak 3 languages fully, and she looks like a model, and she loves music. Interesting. But I would have never guessed that she was half Japanese, half Korean.
As mentioned before, that XG or XGALX back then was just receiving K-pop training at YG Entertainment's building. Being a standout visual and her dancing ability guaranteed her a spot debuting as the main dancer and sub-vocalist of XG. Harvey was born in 2002 in Tokyo, Japan. Now, while Harvey calls Tokyo home,
you know what? I'm going to let him finish, but that makes perfect sense to me. Tokyo. That makes perfect sense.
He actually has connections to Australia, being born to a Japanese mother and Australian father, and actually partially growing up in Australia as well. Harvey started a career in modeling at an early age out of middle school and was selected through the same audition program where Chisa was discovered.
Okay. That all makes perfect sense to me. Tokyo, Australia, that personality, it all makes perfect sense to me. Because I always say, I'm like, she seems like a city girl. Not that type of city girl, but I'm talking about like even when I heard her, she just always seemed a little bit more like energetic than the other girls, a little more out there. But you see, when you grow up in like those big places, like if you grow up in like an example, if you grow up in China, it's a little different if you're in Beijing or Shanghai. If you grow up in Japan, it's a little different if you grow up in Tokyo or Osaka. Really Tokyo, because that's where it get live at. Like if you in Korea, it's a little different if you grow up in Seoul. Not saying the other places aren't great, but it's just your personality is going to be a little bit more open and out there because, you know, that's city life, you know.
Sometimes she followed in the same direction as Jurin by joining the same dance group before XG. Now, an interesting thing about Harvey and her ambitions is that she said she used to be really good at speaking English when she was younger, but forgot and had to relearn it when preparing to debut. And this is what I love. One of the biggest reasons she wanted to relearn English was to take her rap to the next level. During our 5 years training, we've been studying English and Korean a lot. I dreamt of rapping in 3 languages, English, Korean, and Japanese. So I was really happy to be able to realize that dream. difficult parts were actually a lot of fun, and I thought, okay, let's go for it. So I did a lot of research on pronunciation and practiced a lot. And of course, you can't help but respect that work ethic. And of course, probably the biggest reason people love her is her tone when she raps.
Yeah, gotta keep winning, that's Elon Musk. Gotta deflate like Beyonce knows. Genius, you can't go, he got it, 24K go.
The thing about Harvey voice, I always say, like, in rap, they would say she from Atlanta, because the people from Atlanta, Texas, like the South, they would say she from the South. Because she has a distinct voice when she raps and she sings. If she says she learned English and then she forgot, that actually makes sense. Now I can understand part of her voice because she already knew it. But again, all of these girls speak English fluently. To me, like, I can understand all of them great, but I knew she was a little different though. But that's crazy, like the mixture, like her dad's Australian, her mom's, she half Japanese, half Australian. She knew English, she grew up in Tokyo. Man, that's like, hey, what did she, hey, man, this is too much information, man, I don't know.
Unique, trendy, and memorable. And that is why a lot of listeners love Harvey, including myself, and why she was selected to debut as the main rapper and sub-vocalist of XG. Juria was born in 2004 in Osaka, Japan, and she had a little experience in a kids group going by the stage name Jurin, but only for about a year. Then she joined a subunit out of that group, which then became a duo group, and she eventually graduated the whole system. Going by Juria now, she booked a fun role in a commercial for, get this, Nintendo in 2015. Appearing in a few shows in Japan, she then joined XGALX Artist Academy in Tokyo, where she got the attention of producers and was selected to debut as the main vocalist of XG. Maya was born in 2005 in Kanto, Japan, but she went...
That's interesting, though. That's interesting. So, that didn't sound like anything. It sounded like she just, okay, that's what's up. It wasn't really too much into that. Maya. Now, I'm interested in this, too. Like, I wonder how she came to fruition with this.
To Shisen International School in Tokyo, where she always spoke English. Because of that, Maya mentioned she's the most fluent at speaking English out of all the girls in XG. And her background with English fit perfectly in XG and their music, because I didn't really notice it until actually making this video and thinking about it. All of XG's songs are written and performed in English. Maya even spoke about the effect of their music being...
That's what I was just saying. I was like, that's why I think this is so different. And that's why I think XG, of all the Japanese artists, because again, they're probably not the biggest artists from Japan, because again, you got a lot of Japanese artists that are pretty big, but they have the most potential. At any time, they could become the biggest just because they're doing everything in English. Like, if you only rap in Japanese, you'll be the biggest in Japan. Like, that's cool. But if any of their songs chart, all it takes is 1 or 2 singles and boom, they're gone. Because they're doing it in English, this is going to be played everywhere. It's going to be played in every country. Not saying you can't be played in other countries doing it in other way, because we've seen other artists do it. But I'm just saying that when you do it the way they doing it, because if you look at all of the lyrics, everything's in English, and it's not that broken English. It's real, legit, certified English, like even the rap English. So it's like, but again, she from Tokyo. She be in Tokyo a lot. I told you, them city girls are a little different.
In all English. Our songs are all in English, and we don't actually have a specific region, but we do want to share our songs globally and inspire a lot of people and give them strength with our music. I think that's what we're focused on.
I like that. We don't have our own region. You're right. Because if you think about it, XG really doesn't have a region. What they do is, they be in Korea, they be in Japan, they be in the States, they be in Europe. You can't really say that their home base is Japan. That's where they were created, and that's where they're from, and that's home. But all of their songs are in English. Can't say Korea because they don't really have anyone Korean in the group. And they're not really K-pop. They're more like really just pop. But they get love based on people in Korea like them. And in the States, it's like, we look at them as just rappers and singers. Like, so that's even better. You don't need a home base. You want to get your songs out globally.
And also during that time in elementary school, Maya got into XGALX. Yep, the same ones where her future members were training. which is pretty impressive. Again, she was only in elementary school when she joined. After years of training, Maya got her chance to debut as she was named in the lineup of XG, debuting as the lead vocalist and rapper of XG. And last but not least, Cocona was born in 2005 in the Kanto region, Tokyo, Japan. And immediately from birth, Cocona was almost destined to be a musician. The name Cocona, given by her parents, have a strong connection to music. Just take a look at this. Coco means heart and Na means sound. Man, her life is seriously like a movie. As a part of the same artist academy as Minnie and XG, before debut, Cocona was in a project group, but also participated in multiple auditions and actually won an award during the 2017 Kira Chart auditions in the vocal category. And then in 2018, in the Kira Chare audition, Cocona sang Big Bang's Haru Haru, which proves that she's got great taste in music and is a K-pop fan. Getting chosen for XG was a no-brainer as Cocona lived up to her name and debuted as the main rapper and maknae of XG.
Well, if you think about it, and that's the end of the video as far as the explanation. If you think about it, and I don't really know, let me see, how can I say this? Cocona's a little different. First off, you don't supposed to have favorites in the group, but if I did have a favorite, it would be her. Because I love the way she raps. I love the aggressiveness. I love the style. I love the swag. I got the energy. I got the feeling that when I see her, I see star. When I see all of them, I see star. But when I see her, I see superstar. And again, like, she was super young when she joined too. But I didn't know she was from that place. I never even heard of that. And I know that man everywhere in Japan. I've never heard of that place. But it's crazy because even with that, when you hear all of these different backgrounds, it just shows you that if these girls didn't sing, and if they didn't join XG, they all had lives. They all had stuff going on. They would either be models, snowboarders, surfers. They'll probably be singers somewhere else, man. Like, all of these girls are multi-talented. But again, you wouldn't know. Because like I said, I see a lot of stuff around. Me personally, I see a lot of different channels when they make content, and I noticed that, like I said, with XG, but that's how I know they're not K-pop, because most K-pop groups, they do, those fans are kind of like, they make all of these different pages and they make all of these different documentaries and each one doing this and doing that. And I'm not saying that they don't have it because they got a few, but I'm just saying they don't have it like the other groups do. It's probably because they do it because it'd be like Korean pages doing that. But again, I would love to see more stuff like this with more deeper information about themselves, and so we can find out more about them. Because like I said, I enjoy XG. They're my favorite girl group in the world. I think they're the most talented girl group in the world. I think they're the best singers. I think they're the best rappers. They my favorite. So I love to see information like this. I love to break it down. I love to give my opinion on it. I love to see the different swag. I love to see how they grew up. I want to know about the artists that I'm invested in. If I'm invested in you and giving you my time and streaming your music, watching you, buying your tickets, I want to know about, I don't want to just listen to your music. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you think. I want to know where you're from. What made you this talented? And again, you don't have to share, but if you like to share, I would love to hear. But again, shout out to the Internet's Nathan for making this video. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can watch the original video. Go give him a thumbs up and a like. And also, shout out to everybody who make XG content. Super talented group. Love hearing from them. Love watching them. Great entertainment. And send me more links if you XGALX and you in the comments. If you see more videos like this, send me the link so I can check it out. That's all I got for today. You guys tell me what you think about XG, who they were before they was rapping, before they was singing. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. Hit me with the comments down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Always with love. Peace.